Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teacher's Noob. Today I have, once again, Bianca.
How are you?
I'm good. And today we got a very short one, a short but very critical piece of this of the next graphic novel and everything we've been having going on with Thanos. The Thanos Annual, which actually sets up a lot of things and also explains a big question that some fans had. But we'll get into what that question is in a moment. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, once again, I keep forgetting. As we This is where we have Ron Lim on artwork, and this is first opens up back during the events of the life of Captain Marvel, when Jim Starlin first took over the Marvel Captain Marvel. And during this final confrontation, Thanos absorbed the cosmic cube and seemed to become completely omnipotent. As we saw Marvel, and as he took down so many of the Avengers, and it was down to Drax and Marvel. And eventually, Marvel realized, though, that Thanos had become a god, but without worshippers, there's nothing to maintain it. So he was just relying entirely on the cube. So then he realized if you destroy the cube, it would undo everything. To which, even though Thanos tried to rapidly age Marvel, he ended up smashing the cube and undoing everything. But the big question I always wondered is what happened after this, but between this and Thanos' next appearance, and why does Thanos have no recollection of such things? We're going to find out in this story. As after Thanos had been taken, the Blood Brothers, who were actually working for him before, rescued him, but he was transported away to Mephisto.
Have I heard of the Blood Brothers before in any of the issues?
No, not any of the issues we've done before, but he was one of the earliest servants um, of Thanos.
Okay. Oh,
There
I
also,
like that. What they did with the eyeball is like it's small and then
and then
grows
open
bigger.
expands. But yeah, basically, like consider this a chess reward for a long life ill spent. I am damned. Hold on a second. Smoke alarm is not doing very well battery wise, so it keeps on every couple hours going a constant beeping.
I didn't even notice.
It would drove me nuts. But
Oh, I'm
basically,
sorry.
Mephisto wants to damn him and everything. And it's like, I invite you to join the ranks of my Legion of the Damned. The recompense for this service shall be unimaginably grand. Demon, you obviously gleaned from the shadows that might have been, and what is. I held omnipotence within my grasp, but could not retain a grip on it. I spent centuries chasing an impossible dream, attained its realization, and then lost it. With such a first act, where does the play go from there? One cannot fall from so lofty a height without breaking. Even if I so desired a position, I would prove useless as your agent, would prove useless at anything. I am failure personified. Yes, I can see that what you say is true. You are obviously not the Thanos of Titan I sought, which means you are no real value to me. He's ready to blast him, but then he's stayed by one of the avatars, who stops him thanks to the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, as we're later revealed that during the time in which Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet, as he was facing the Avengers, and right before he almost loses everything, he in that brief moment decided to send out about a dozen avatars, trying to answer a few questions while he still had it, things that have long intrigued him all throughout history, and one personal secret, which was how did he survive? And thus he realized that it was dealing with Mephisto, of which he had no memories of the event, and he realized why, but we'll get to that why in a moment. And for that brief moment, then Thanos, the past Thanos, attacks it's the Avatar, trying to take the gauntlet. They fall through time for a moment until they're in the time of the dinosaurs, to which the Avatar stops him and holds him in place, telling him, I will release you if you promise not to do that again. He promises, and then he reveals that once the gauntlet is removed, they will have no memory of this encounter, which means it's the whole notion of because he was saved by the Avatar, but because the Avatar no longer existed, even from memory, he would lose memory of being saved by it, just to try and keep the timeline consistent.
Who's those girls?
Oh, that's Nebula. That's Nebula.
Nebula has hair?
She used to have hair. And that's
Ah.
Texaria, a basically a female counterpart of Thanos he made to try and make Death jealous.
She's very pretty.
But yeah, so eventually then Thanos realizes that some of his other avatars has shown him something. And he basically takes them to some other moments in history, such as the Infinity Gauntlet, the end of the Infinity Gauntlet, when Adam Warlock got it. And then during the time of the Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, in the Infinity Abyss, Epiphany. I love this. Like, he would be also like, this one my doing? Clearly. He will also be at your side when you battle against mighty Galactus. Am I out of my mind taking on that cosmic powerhouse? Disturbingly so. Would you like the details? No, thank you. There's that troll again. Not very fond of trolls. Who is? I assume I survived that encounter with Galactus more handily than you should. And you are curious about your future deaths? Deaths? One of my favorites is at the hands of Drax the Destroyer. You have favorites? And Drax finally managed to kill me? That is Drax? He changes. He rips out my heart. You will be in a very weakened state. Many deaths and many resurrections. The universe will not allow you to remain dead. You shall always play some major role in the grand design. We're some sort of cosmic aberration, are we? Indeed we are. Life and death will truly have no meaning to or sway over you. In a strange way, you may boast of being more immortal than even the Asgardians. As we then see, it shows over, basically gives us a brief summary of stuff with all the different cosmic beings and all that. And then he soon finds that in a few years into the future, they'll find absolutely nothingness. And basically the time stone should have no limit. So why that is, he doesn't know. They eventually do find out as they see this one moment. Thanos on top of a pile of dead bodies as nothingness engulfs them all. And basically they soon start to realize that it sets up, this is where the whole, instead of being Thanos versus Hulk, it was going to be an issue of Savage Hulk. And basically it gives him a bit more of a warning, and then he leaves, sending him back to the Blood Brothers, who wakes up and it's like, Master's feeling better? Better? Yes. Summon the nearest dreadnought for us to transfer operations to. Master has a new plan of action? Yes. There's a vast universe out there in need of terrorizing. You do not belong here, Avatar. I trespassed but for a brief moment. As we then see him talking with the Living Tribunal, who gives him more of a warning as well. And, well, that's the end of that. Told you this would be a short one.
That's how it ends?
It was an annual, and it was meant to be a setup. It was more setup for all this whole trilogy. But all we know is eventually whatever Nihilus is doing is going to lead to absolute nothingness. The end of everything.
3 out of 10.
I know it's way too short. I'm sorry. But you know though, this is very similar to what happened with Dr. Manhattan during Doomsday Clock.
Dr. Manhattan, Doomsday.
Remember that, where he thinks for a moment that he's going to deal with Superman, and then there was nothingness. Similar thing.
I liked the Doomsday Clock better. So
well, yeah, obviously, but this all set up, and I know this was bad, but I wanted to get this one out of the way because it was still vital.
Okay.
So that's it for this one, short one. Well, we'll see you all in the next one. We go over the Infinity Entity. That one's going to be much more. It's going to be the same length as the Thanos versus Hulk, but it's going to be more important on Adam Warlock. But we'll see you then.
Bye.
Sorry that one was so short.
That's fine.